Let's make history. Africans arrived in America long before Christopher Columbus, and they weren't the only ones. The Scandinavians, the Irish, all visited America hundreds of years, in some cases thousands of years before Columbus. I think the most obvious proof is the Olmec civilization. You look at that famous statue. It's a head. It's just a head, and it's clearly has African features. It makes you think. And the Olmec civilization existed somewhere between 400 BC and 1000 BC. Check out a book called They Came Before Columbus by Ivan Van Sertima. And he explains how on the western coast of Africa, there are areas in the Atlantic Ocean where there are what he calls currents. And Africans figured out how they could just basically plop a boat right there on the area where is that particular current, and it would take them effortlessly to some other destination. And they followed these currents, and some of them, the other end of the current was in America. There were several of them, by the way. And at the terminal ends, or at the American ends of these currents, you find small African settlements. I'm not saying there were a bunch of Africans in the Americas, but there were small African settlements at the ends of these currents on the American side. And the American ends of these currents were in places like Brazil and Mexico, etc. There's even a story, which could very much possibly be a legend, that during the reign of Mansa Musa, one of the richest men of all time, who was a ruler in Mali, along the western coast of Africa, his brother or some of his men purposely ventured off into South America. Of course, they didn't call it South America, but he brought thousands and thousands of men with him, and they never returned. But that's just one example, just to instantiate the point. But if you think about what's being said, it seems pretty obvious that this most likely transpired in the way that Ivan Van Sertima is claiming. Van Sertima was a serious scholar, by the way. He was born in 1935. His book, They Came Before Columbus, which I referenced, was released in 1976, and he died in 2009. He was Guyanese, born in Guyana, and he came to the United States and earned degrees at Rutgers University,